The thing I love most about the RNCM is the incredible energy. Actually, when you walk in the building, it kind of hits you, and that's kind of a combination of just amazing amount of people that come every week to this building to teach, to perform, to do what they do here, and it's a combination of what happens behind closed doors, and then what also happens in terms of our performance program as well, and all of that activity just creates an amazing energy in the building. It goes without saying that we have really, really amazing teachers here. We have our teachers are international performers in their own right, whether in orchestras or in chamber groups or are working as soloists. And I think it's an amazing, exciting opportunity for students, the people that come into this building to teach. But I think there's two things particularly that make the RNCM different and very special. And the first of these is that we have these tentacles that go out into all areas of the industry. And one of the really important things when students come here is the opportunities that we create to work within the profession. So we've got amazing placements. You know, if you're training to be an orchestral player, you can go and work with one of the top orchestras locally, or we partner with international orchestras as well. And conversely, we bring in a lot of professional players here that sit within our performance program. So that the opportunity to sort of be exposed to what's going on in the profession, you know, so it really helps them with the transition when you leave here. Alongside that as well, I think what's very special about the RNCM is that you can come here with kind of one idea of what you think you might become as a musician, or what you think you are, or what you want to develop, and then you can go out the other end with a completely different view. And I think it's because we offer such a diverse range of things that you can do here. So you can move around into different areas within the organisation, and different ways of learning. And a big part of what we do here as well is around developing the broader creativity of what our musicians do. So obviously the core of what you do is to learn your instrumental skills and everything that goes with that. But we have a much broader learning around how you become quite a kind of holistic creative musician as well. I think there's so many things I love about my job. It's an amazing thing for me to do. I'd say probably the thing I love most is the people. I spend a lot of my time with people, whether that's my colleagues here. There's an amazing range of incredibly passionate staff who work here, incredibly talented, incredibly passionate. That combined with the amount of international people that come in here on a daily basis. And then as well, from my role as well, a lot of what I do is looking outside into the world, what's going on in the profession, and those links, those collaborations that we make, and the huge range of people that I work with within music, but then across the city and in the broader sector. It just makes it very exciting. That's a very difficult question. It really depends on my mood. Um, I wouldn't say I have a particular type of music I listen to, but the kind of music I listen to all different types of music, but the music that I'm interested in is music that I guess kind of fires my imagination, that I listen to, that something sparks my imagination or kind of gets me in my gut. And that can be any type of music in many ways, but actually particularly performers as well. Often I'm more drawn by performers, perhaps more than specific music written by specific people. And again, I'm very drawn by performers who are play on the edge, who kind of are very explorative, who are kind of doing maybe slightly different things. If I had to name a composer, there's one composer I always come back to, and that's Beethoven, who kind of is all those things, whose music is just absolutely mind-blowing. And I could talk about his music for ages, but it's the most extraordinary music on so many levels. I think one of the most important things is to be incredibly curious, and not to lose being curious, but to try and be as curious as possible. And by that I mean, so particularly when you're learning something, you can learn so much from things that might not straight away look like obvious things to learn from. I think particularly when you're in music college and you're learning an instrument, you know, if you're a pianist, that you're so involved in learning the technique of your instrument. And actually, I think as you get older, particularly, you realize there's so much you can learn from everything around you, and that could be from other instrumentalists, learning from people who play a completely different instrument. It could be from even watching somebody give a speech, how they perform. It could be reading a story in a newspaper, how that can kind of fire your imagination, and then how you can actually bring that into the music you're playing. So I would say to be as curious and open-minded, particularly when you're studying, and try and absorb as much around you. I think particularly being somewhere like the RNCM, actually, where the performance program is just extraordinary in terms of the diversity. And rather than, again, you know, I'm a pianist as trained, I know what it's like. I used to go to a lot of piano recitals, but rather than just sticking to what you know, to, you know, try and go to things that you know nothing about, and because I think there's a huge amount you can learn from that.